Hello, 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 and welcome to my page. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Valerie Oakley. I'm an independent certified Optavia coach, and I'm also a certified breakthrough coach. And I am here to do a read along with you through the life book. The life book is authored by Dr. Wayne Scott Andersen. He's the co-founder of Optavia, and he's also the one who co-designed this system that we use to coach people through to their optimal health goals. And so I am doing a read along through the elements of the life book. There's 26 of them. So this is a year-long process that we're going through together. And we are on element 7, creating a leptogenic world. If you like what you hear, there's some information in the description on how to contact me if you want a consultation, how to get some more information on the books, how to order them, some uh, free things that are in the description. But let's get started on element 7, creating a leptogenic world. I'm going to share my screen and go through the slides with you. Let's get that set up. And there we go. Creating a new healthy world. So as we always do in each of these elements, the intention is to cover these 3 areas: your mindset, which is understanding your relationship with willpower. That's what we'll focus on in element 7. Your skill set, which is designing your home and other areas of your life to set yourself up for success. Yes, we're going to walk through your house today. And action, actively make the adjustments and note them in your life book. And if you do not have your life book, grab a piece of paper, grab your journal, wherever it is that you can write this information down. If you are driving or something like that, of course, don't do it just yet, but listen along. And you can also watch the replay when you are settled and take notes on these things. These are lifelong principles that you can apply and sustain your health for many years to come. That's the aim. So what's going to happen in element 7, the average time to complete this element is 1 week. And we're going to focus on making simple, powerful changes in your surroundings to make it easier to make healthy choices. We're also going to connect time and place with your food choices to optimize health. We're going to explore and implement strategies to adjust your surroundings to create your leptogenic world. Not to worry, we're going to explain what leptogenic is. And feel amazing while making these lasting changes. So we live in an obesogenic world. And this is a major reason why so many of us struggle with our weight. What if we could create a leptogenic world, surroundings that help you become thin? In this element, we're going to focus on making simple yet powerful changes in your surroundings to make healthy choices easier. So Dr. Andersen says, willpower is not something you have or don't have, but it's a resource that becomes depleted. And like a battery, it can be recharged. That's what we're going to show you how to do today. So most people think they make poor choices and gain weight because they lack willpower. They feel low and run to food for comfort. But if you only bought healthy food at the grocery store and it's not close at hand, you can instead stop, challenge, and without any temptation, choose something healthy to eat or an activity on your health path. Over the last several years, we've discovered that willpower is not something you have or don't have, but a resource that becomes depleted. and like a battery can be recharged. Again, remember your days in school during finals week when you were using your willpower to study and everything else suffered? This is Dr. Andersen talking. He says, my girls deteriorated from being a perfectly turned out young women who made healthy food choices to wearing sweatpants with no makeup and living on pizzas, cheeseburgers, and fries during exam week. When your willpower is depleted, though those tough days at the office, when your willpower is depleted, you are more likely to make your decisions based on your surroundings. After those tough days at the office, you're much less likely to make the effort to prepare a healthy meal or exercise. So it's important to eliminate potential unhealthy temptations when you're more vulnerable to poor choices. In this element, we're going to introduce the habit of connecting time and place to coordinate where you are throughout the day and make small but critical changes in your surroundings. In the next element, this will evolve into your own personal habit clock. This will make it easier to do the habits of health and harder to fall into the habits of disease. We are, in essence, going to reduce the need to use willpower by creating a new, healthy, leptogenic world for you. And it says to review choice architecture in Dr. A's Habits of Health, Part 1.7, optimizing your surroundings, creating your microenvironment of health. Now, the Habits of Health book is the accompanying book to the Life book. And again, in the discussion discussion section, you'll be able to access that if you would like to continue reading along with us. So let's spend some time and go through your day. We need to consider what we can do in your current day to put obstacles in place and to increase the steps needed to make bad choices. At the same time, we need to eliminate some steps to make it easier to make good choices. As you can see, there are multiple times during the day and night when we can make interventions. We're going to concentrate on your bedroom, car, workspace, meal times, and home, specifically the kitchen, pantry, and living spaces. So the food environment design is in your house. Let's start with the center of food storage, preparation and serving in your kitchen and pantry. You'll want to read Part 2.2 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, Your Blueprint, Safe Weight Loss and Health Gain, which will give you specific foods to toss as well as ones to replenish your shelves. I will discuss some basic principles, and I want you to log what you have changed and whether it is helping you make better choices in your surroundings. So I highly recommend that you get this book bundle and go through Part 2.2, where Dr. Andersen's gonna walk you through exactly which foods to eliminate in your pantry. So the pantry is the place where most processed foods are stored. You will want to eliminate all ultra-processed foods that have sugar or refined flour as the first few ingredients. That's what it means to be ultra-processed. Why? In Part 1.1 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, It's Not Your Fault That You're Struggling, we talk about how the food industry encourages you to consume large amounts of ultra-processed food by manipulating taste, salt, and texture. They are also responsible for creating sugar and refined flour addictions. Important note here, our fuelings are designed to do the opposite. Because they are low glycemic, portion controlled, provide balanced protein and carbohydrates, have lower calorie, and work with the body to turn off the metabolic switches, they turn us into a fat-burning healthy state. These fuelings are healthy food designed to help you manage your weight and health. Get rid of tempting foods that could sabotage your healthy eating choices, and don't use this time to finish off that bag of cookies you find. If you have children or teenagers, this is a great chance to help them eat healthier too. But if you must keep foods for them in the house that don't fit your plan, put them in a low, out of the way cupboard and don't go near them. Start by getting rid of white rice, white flour, white bread, crackers, rice cakes, croutons, and breadcrumbs. Get rid of hydrogenated vegetable oils, including hard or semi-soft margarine and shortenings such as Crisco, and partially hydrogenated oils. Get rid of white potato, potato mix, cornmeal, and corn grits. Get rid of refined cereals. Whole grain is okay. And get rid of flavored oatmeal. Get rid of cookies, candy, cakes, and muffins. Get rid of chips, crackers, pretzels, and my favorite, popcorn. Not to worry, we have some popcorn that you can order. So write down all of the things that you're throwing out. And the key reason for writing down all of these unhelpful, unhealthy foods can be summed up in one sentence. I don't eat these foods because I have chosen to create optimal health and well-being in my life. It's a choice. This is a very different approach from when you may have told yourself that you couldn't eat these foods because they weren't on your diet. Previously, you may have said can't, which creates a feedback loop that points out the restrictions and limitations of what you can and cannot do. And it sets you up for failure because you are, in essence, saying, I am being forced to do something I do not want to do. It really sets you up to resist and fight your effort to create a healthy, holistic lifestyle. So if we go back to our hierarchy of choices, then we are making secondary decisions because they support what is most important to us, optimal health and well-being. You are giving your body a gift of health rather than a restriction of instant pleasure. Out of sight, out of mind plays out big time as we redesign our surroundings. So you're no longer even having to make a decision. By the way, the same thing applies to going out to restaurants. Do not enter unhealthy eating establishments because even if they have healthy options, you're putting your willpower to the test, and that's a gamble we don't want to make in the Habits of Health transformational system. We do have a dining out guide that shows you exactly the things that are part of our plan that you have the option to order in any restaurant that you go into. And again, that's in the discussion. Out of sight, out of mind. So in this element, we want to explore how we make everything healthy and supportive of well-being easier. We also want to eliminate or make it harder to make poor choices. So let's start populating your pantry with healthy foods such as olive oil, whole grains, high fiber breads and pitas, whole wheat flour, walnuts, almonds, and pistachios, a variety of beans, and different spices and herbs. These are all healthy choices once you have reached your healthy weight. We also like to say once you reach your happy weight. If you are in the weight loss phase, your choices will be more limited than these healthy examples. In fact, put below some of the things you can have in your pantry during weight loss phase 1, and see part 2.3 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, the catalyst to reaching a healthy weight. Example, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. It's a good idea to run this list by your coach. before you purchase the above items. Also, check the guide that comes with your fuelings. List the fuelings you have in your pantry and start making notes of which ones you love, like, or want to pass on in the future. I find that I settle into about a half a dozen favorites that I will use for most of my fuelings, and over time, add or delete ones I get tired of. Now you want to see part 2.3 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, the catalyst to reaching a healthy weight. One last note on choice architecture in your pantry. Place the healthiest items at eye level, and if you have other family members that are not yet eating healthy, request that they place their processed foods either out of sight or in areas which require more work to reach. Let's move to your refrigerator. Here's what needs to go from the fridge. Ready? Whole fat dairy products such as milk, cheese, yogurt, butter, cottage cheese, and mayonnaise. Processed deli meats, bacon, hot dogs, sugary sodas and juices, beer and wine. And this is, again, during the weight loss phase. That's if your aim is to lose some weight. Other things to go from your refrigerator: foods high in calories, fat, or sugar, including peanut butter, jellies, and salad dressings, except low fat and low calorie. Those are okay. Sweet pickles, relish, ketchup, puddings, and applesauce. Now write down all of the things that you're tossing. If you have your life book, there's a space in your life book to write that down, or you can grab a piece of paper if you don't want to write in your book, or if you don't have the books. After you finish doing that, this is important to describe how that feels. And again, if you have a coach, discuss that with your coach. And if you need a coach, there are ways to reach out to me in the description section. So now you want to fill your fridge back up with low-fat protein sources such as lean chicken and meats, tofu, hummus, and eggs, fresh vegetables, and vegetables for the freezer, condiments such as mustards, pickles, and vinegars, mineral water, sparkling water, unsweetened iced tea, olives and capers, and herbs and spices. In fact, list below some of the things you can have in your refrigerator during weight loss phase 1. See part 2.3 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, the catalyst to reaching a healthy weight. It's a good idea to run this list by your coach before you purchase the above items. Also, check the guide that comes with your fuelings. The guide has a whole grocery list of items that are program compliant, and you will be pleasantly surprised at what your choices are. So now let's move to the freezer. Here's what needs to go from the freezer: frozen fruit with added sugar, frozen vegetables with seasoning that contains sugar, orange juice, lemonade, other fruit concentrates, bread, rolls, and things like that, frozen entrees containing rice and pasta, frozen pizza, frozen desserts, ice cream, sorbets, cakes, and cookies. Now write down all of the things you're tossing. Again, tap in. Describe how that feels to toss those things. And now fill your freezer back up with these things: frozen vegetables like broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, green beans, unsweetened fruits like blueberries, peaches, raspberries, strawberries, frozen shrimp, fish, seafood, without sauces and sugar, lean beef, poultry, veggie burgers from soy, beans, no grain potato, or sugar. In fact, list below some of the things you can have in your freezer during weight loss phase 1. List or on the book or with a piece of paper. Now let's go to preparation and storage. In terms of preparation, there are many ways we can use design to help us eat healthier. One of the keys to eating less is to serve less, and this can be accomplished in 4 very practical ways. These are ways I still use today, 10 years into program. I started in 2014, and to date, this is 2024 when I'm doing this recording. So smaller plates, move from 12-inch to 9-inch plates. We will discuss why this is so important in my healthy eating system for life. Make a note of where and when you will change your plate size. Check here when it is done. See element 15, how to eat healthy for life, which explains Dr. A's eating system before making purchases. Colored plates. When your plate color contrasts with your food, the size of the portion sticks out and we sense we are eating more. When they blend in, the amount does not register and we eat more. Buying green plates makes sense as it's okay to eat bigger portions of green vegetables. During the weight loss phase, filling half your plate with vegetables can help create fullness. I still do this. Serve from kitchen only. Put your portion on your plate and do not bring serving bowls for seconds to the dining table. Use plates that are green and have a high color contrast with foods that need to be eaten in moderation only. For example, do not put rice or potatoes on a white plate. Make a note of where and when I will change to this new behavior. Make sure it is a consistent change. Consistent change. Large glasses of water with a pitcher of water for refill on the dining table. As we will discuss in a future element, always have a large glass of water with you, including at the dining table. Our hunger can always be diminished by drinking more water. Other design thoughts in your kitchen surroundings. When storing leftovers, wrap any unhealthy food that family members have eaten in aluminum foil so it's not visible. And wrap your healthy leftovers in plastic wrap so they're visible. Also, store healthy food in bigger containers so they're more visible when going into the refrigerator, and unhealthy ones in smaller ones, or I actually toss them. Once you've reached a healthy weight, display a large bowl of fruit in a high traffic area to encourage consumption. It cannot be said enough. Do not bring anything into your house that is not healthy or good for you. To accomplish that, make sure you're not hungry or stressed when you go to the grocery store, and only shop around the perimeter of the store. One more word on emotions and stress. They stimulate areas of your brain that make you crave sugar, fat, and salt. And when you start feeling that uneasy, uncomfortable feeling, I like to call the icky sauce. When you feel that coming on, make sure as you stop, drink some water, and remove yourself from any surrounding environment that has even a hint of unhealthy food. When eating out, keep the following in mind. Keep portions in check by design, plan ahead. In the car, in the morning on your way to work, please avoid Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts drive-through with the 500-calorie mocha and other fancy coffees and tempting muffins. Also, Avoid driving into or even by fast food joints like gas stations that sell snacks and anywhere else that can tempt you, such as Dairy Queens, juice bars, and so on. And again, that's at, at first so that you're developing the habit of making healthier choices. So let's address eating out in general. Restaurants. Restaurant servings have become out of control. An occasional treat is fine, but if you eat out often, you need to develop an overall strategy for portion control. So here's a few tips. Visualize the divisions on the 9-inch plate. Remember, half the plate can be dedicated to greens and vegetables. Order 2 appetizers instead of an entree, such as a soup and a dinner salad or shrimp cocktail. You can split a meal with your dining companion. Another option is don't rely on the chef or the waiter to serve you the proper amount of food. Surveys show that people generally eat everything that's put in front of them, whether they wanted it or not. That's a learned behavior. I remember as a child, that's what I was taught, to eat everything on your plate. And it was more a matter of waste than eating, but it also taught us how to overeat. So ask for leftovers container right when you place your order. And when your meal comes, eyeball your proper proportion right away, and then put the rest into the box to take home. Do it up front. More later, but also stay away from cream sauces and soups, butter, oil, au gratin, breaded, Alfredo sauce, gravy, and anything battered or fried. Blackened entrees are usually dipped in butter or oil, covered with spices, and then pan fried with a higher probability of toxic effects on our health. Don't be afraid to take charge of your meal. Choose only lean cuts of red meat, such as loin and flank. If you're having chicken, remember that white meat contains less fat. Ask for your meat, fish, or poultry to be prepared with minimal oil and butter and prepared light. Have the chef trim all excess fat before cooking and be sure to remove the skin from poultry before you eat. Request that vegetables be steamed with no added sugar or butter. Optimal cooking methods are baked, broiled, grilled, poached, or steamed. And of course, fresh is best. Now, let's go to your bedroom. Healthy surroundings, ready your bedroom. Creating an environment that optimizes sleep quality is critical to good health. In fact, several studies confirm that poor sleep directly contributes to poor eating habits. We'll spend considerable time in phase 2 on this macro habit, both in Dr. A's Habits of Health and in a future element, giving you some tips to improve your sleep. But right now, here are a few simple steps to make your bedroom more conducive to healthy sleeping. Organize your bedroom and put away clutter. And you determine what clutter is and put it away. Then describe how that feels. Number 2, if you have a TV in your room, remove or unplug it. And then describe how that affects your sleep. Try it. Describe how your sleep is in the following days, or how many days that you put that into practice. Number 3, choose a bedtime that means you get 8 hours of sleep and stick with it. If you're a person that needs less sleep and you feel rested, choose a time that will give you that amount of time of sleep and describe how that feels. Keep your room cool while you sleep, 68 degrees lower, and describe how that feels. 5, never eat in bed. So Describe how that has changed your sleeping by not having food at or near your bed. So now that you understand the importance of making changes in your surroundings so you're no longer reliant on willpower to make good choices and stay away from bad ones. List the 3 adjustments you have made to your surroundings that are making an immediate difference to your health and life. So out of everything we discussed, pick 3 things, 3 adjustments that you're going to make. I would even challenge you, just pick 1 adjustment that you're going to make over the next week and then add on to that. Make sure you review all your notes and this element often. Also, share with your coach and spend time discussing how these possibilities will become a reality. In element 8, learning to eat every 3 hours, we will explore eating every 3 hours as an integral in you developing the mastery of the macro habit of healthy weight management. So notes to yourself, now that you have completed element 7, creating a new leptogenic world, write down your thoughts guided by the following questions. Number 1, what does this element mean to you right now? 2, what does this element give you the opportunity to reflect on? And 3, what actions are you going to take as a result of this element? Again, I encourage you, pick 3, but even if you can't come up with 3, at least pick 1. Pick 1 that you're going to put into practice over this next week while you work through this element. So I encourage you to connect with your coach so you can share your thoughts and actions as soon as possible. Sharing your thoughts with your coach will help them become a reality. And make sure you review all your notes and this element often. All right. So thank you once again for stopping by. Thank you for reviewing element 7 with me, creating a leptogenic world versus an obesogenic. And I will see you in element 8, which is learning to eat every 3 hours. Be sure and check out what's available to you in the description. And again, if you want to reach out to me and you have any thoughts, comments, or discussion that you want to do further with this, reach out to me, put it in the comments, like, share, do all that stuff. All right. And I will see you next time. Thank you.